Our daily bread is a daily window through which we reflect on the nourishment of the soul. Just as we need bread to nourish our bodies, our souls also need sustenance that gives them strength and faith. Through this program, we will dive into the deep meanings of life, reflect on sacred words, and learn how these words can be the bread that feeds our souls and grants them peace in facing the challenges of daily life. Let us partake together in this spiritual nourishment that refreshes the heart and strengthens faith. Our reflection today is on verse 3 of chapter 7 from the book of Sirach, which speaks about avoiding sin. My son, do not sow in the furrows of sin, lest you reap sevenfold. I share with you today, dear friends, a new story and a new life lesson we can learn from it. Our story today is titled The Fruits of Deceit. In a distant village, there lived a young farmer named ثمار. ثمار was kind-hearted, but he was always seeking quick riches. He heard about fertile land on the outskirts of the village, but it belonged to an old, sick man. Instead of offering the old man a fair price, ثمار decided to deceive him. He convinced the old man that the land was worthless and bought it for a pittance. After acquiring the land, ثمار immediately began farming it. The soil was indeed fertile and the crops grew rapidly, but as time passed, problems began to arise. The crops were attacked by strange pests and wild animals started to ruin the fields. With each problem, Thamar's losses increased. By the end of the season, ثمار found himself bankrupt, having lost everything he had invested in the land. He then realized that his greed and deceit were the causes of his misfortune. He remembered the words of the village sage, "My son, do not sow in the furrows of sin, lest you reap sevenfold." ثمار understood that what he had done had brought upon him much greater harm than he had anticipated. The moral of the story is, those who sow deceit will reap regret and disappointment many times over. And with this, we conclude today's episode of the Our Daily Bread program, prepared and directed by Father Noor Alkasmosa. I thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey. I invite you to continue partaking in this spiritual bread day after day and to make reflecting on its meanings a part of your life. Remember to follow us on social media to stay connected and benefit from more reflections, stories, and spiritual materials. I leave you in God's protection and care, and to Him be the glory always. Amen.